Today was day 3 of the confirmation hearings for Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson. It got heated. It got incredibly emotional at one point. But here's what we want to do. Rather than have a guest tell you what it all means, etc., we just want to show you some of the highlights of the most explosive, interesting, and emotional moments. Here's one of them. Senator Lindsey Graham and Judge Brown Jackson had an intense back and forth over her stance on child pornography sentencing and deterrence.
Senator, with respect to the computer, one of the most effective deterrents is one that I imposed in every case and that judges across the country impose in every case, which is substantial supervision. Any of these
wait a minute, Judge. You think it is a bigger deterrent to take somebody who's on a computer looking at sexual images of children in the most disgusting way is to supervise their computer habits versus putting them in jail?
No, Senator, I didn't say versus.
That's exactly what you said. I think the best way to deter people from getting on a computer and viewing thousands and hundreds and over time, maybe millions, the population as a whole, of children being exploited and abused every time somebody clicks on is to put their ass in jail, not supervise their computer usage.
They're debating a case where she was the judge in that case and issued a sentence that was below what the prosecutors had recommended. Senator Dick Durbin, Democrat, and Senator Ted Cruz had a fiery back and forth over a series of questions Cruz was asking Judge Jackson about her handling of child pornography cases.
But you allow her to answer the question, or do you not want the American people to hear why, with someone she described as an egregious...
there comes a point, Senator, where you get a little bit...
Chairman Durbin, will you allow her to answer the question?
You won't allow her to answer
I will happily allow her to... The question is,
Senator,
why
thank
you sentence Stewart, an egregious child pornography possessor, to half of the amount requested by the prosecutor?
Please, Senator.
Will you allow her to answer the question, Chairman Durbin?
Senator Coons.
Why are you not allowing her to answer the question? There's not another senator here that you've not allowed her to answer the question. I'm not asking another question, but allow her to answer the question, Chairman Durbin.
Thank you, Chairman Durbin.
Why do you not want the American people to know what happened in the Stewart case or any of these cases? Chairman Durbin, I've never seen the chairman refuse to allow a witness to answer a question. You can bang it as loud as you want.
All right, for those ready to move on from child porn, change of pace, Senator Ben Sasse, the Republican from Nebraska, had a relatively pleasant exchange with her on her stance on cancel culture.
You're against canceling people, I assume.
I'm not suggesting that we differ. What I'm saying is that these issues about speech on campus and the like are the kinds of things that are issues that are working their way, in different formats and different ways through the courts. And so I'm just being careful in terms of my answers.
Okay. I'm trying to lead you because I want to, because I think American civic health will be better off. You're going to be a hero. You are already a hero to lots and lots of kids, students, maybe some bound for the law, but more broadly, students across the country. And I think it's in America's public interest for them to hear you as an advocate for the full, vigorous, strong kid debate of different views. And so I suspect you are an advocate for vigorous and robust debate. I don't see how you might be constrained against saying that because of future cases, but I'm going to just assume we're mostly aligned on this.
I think that's a fair assumption.
All right. And then, early evening, there was an emotional moment on the other side when Democrat Cory Booker talked about what it meant that she had gotten this nomination.
And you did not get there because of some left-wing agenda? You didn't get here because of some dark money groups? You got here how every black woman in America who's gotten anywhere has done, by being, like Ginger Rogers said, I did everything Fred Astaire did, but backwards in heels. And so I'm just sitting here saying, nobody's stealing my joy. Nobody's going to make me angry, especially not people that are called in a conservative magazine demagogic. for what they're bringing up that just doesn't hold water.
Bottom line is Democrats have 50 votes. And with the vice president, it's going to be enough. But it's interesting theater, and the senators love creating theater. Thank you for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.